In a quiet northern town, where winter lasted longer than anywhere else, a girl named Alara was born on the coldest night of the year. Snow drifted gently across rooftops, and the moonlight painted the village in silver. The world felt still, as if nature itself had paused to welcome her arrival. Inside a small wooden house warmed by firelight, her parents held her close, unaware that their daughter carried something extraordinary within her. As Alara grew, small but unusual signs began to appear. On cold mornings, frost would bloom across windows wherever her fingers touched. The patterns were intricate, delicate, and impossibly symmetrical. Her parents thought it was coincidence. Perhaps the air was simply colder near her, but the designs were too precise, too beautiful, too intentional. One quiet afternoon, Alara wandered into the snow-covered forest beyond her town. The trees stood tall and silent. A narrow stream wound between them, its surface partly frozen. When she slipped near the edge, she instinctively reached toward the water. The moment her hand hovered above it, the stream shimmered and transformed into crystal-clear ice, not gradually, instantly. Alara did not panic. She simply stared, breathing slowly, watching her reflection in the frozen surface. Over the following weeks, Alara began experimenting in secret. She discovered that with a calm breath, frost formed in the air. With a simple movement of her hand, snow gathered and shaped itself into elegant sculptures, swans, flowers, towers of shimmering crystal. The power responded not to force, but to emotion. When she felt peaceful, the ice obeyed. That was when she understood. She was not simply different. She was something rare, something ancient. Many stories describe queens of ice as distant and cold-hearted, but Alara felt warmth in her chest whenever snow fell. She did not see winter as isolation. She saw it as clarity, ice preserved, snow protected. Frost revealed hidden beauty in ordinary places. Slowly, she stopped hiding her gift. She stood on a hill overlooking her town and allowed frost to swirl gently around her like a quiet crown. One summer, something unexpected happened. The region experienced an unusual drought. Rivers ran shallow, fields grew dry. The villagers remained calm but concerned. Alara knew she could help. She traveled to the mountains where snow still rested along the peaks. With careful concentration, she guided melting water downward, forming gentle, icy channels that directed fresh streams toward the valley below. The water flowed steadily, nourishing the land. The crops revived. Green returned to the fields. The town prospered once more. For the first time, Alara embraced who she truly was. She skated across frozen lakes she created herself, gliding effortlessly across glass-like surfaces. She shaped shimmering snowflakes that sparkled in golden sunsets. High in the mountains, she built magnificent crystal palaces, not as fortresses, but as art. Her laughter echoed across snowy valleys. Winter no longer followed her. She led it. With time, Alara realized that power was not about control. It was about balance. She learned to let spring return without resistance, to allow warmth and cold to share the same world. She became a guardian of rhythm, not ruler of seasons. The Ice Queen was not defined by frost alone. She was defined by harmony. As Alara matured, her curiosity grew deeper than her power. She began wondering where her gift came from. One evening, beneath a sky filled with quiet stars, she shaped something extraordinary. A vast library carved entirely from crystal ice. Shelves rose like frozen waterfalls. Within them, she preserved memories in shimmering ice panels, moments of her childhood, the village's laughter, the sound of wind through pine trees. She realized her power could hold history itself. Word of the Ice Queen's creations traveled beyond her valley. Travelers began arriving. Artists, scholars, explorers. They did not come in fear, they came in wonder. Alara welcomed them with warmth despite the frost around her. So she showed them how winter reflected light differently than summer, how snow carried silence like a gift. The world began to see winter in a new way. One night, as auroras danced across the sky, Alara felt something shift within her. She raised her hands gently toward the heavens. The northern lights responded, reflecting across the ice palace walls in waves of color. For the first time, she understood that her power was not separate from the sky, the wind, or the earth. Alara wanted to prove something important, that winter could nurture life, not stop it. She created a frozen garden where ice flowers bloomed without melting. Translucent petals captured sunlight and scattered it like rainbows across the snow. Visitors walked through the garden quietly, inspired by its calm beauty. Children from nearby towns often visited her valley. Instead of hiding her gift, Ilara taught them about balance, how cold shapes mountains, how snow protects seeds beneath the soil. She created gentle snow playgrounds where laughter echoed across frozen lakes. The Ice Queen was no longer a mystery. She was a teacher. As spring approached, Ilara faced a quiet decision. Long ago, she might have resisted the warmth, but now she understood harmony. She allowed her ice palace to soften gradually, melting into sparkling streams that nourished the valley. Her power was not about permanence, it was about timing. High in the mountains, Ilara created a vast mirror of pure ice. It reflected not appearances, but emotions. When villagers stood before it, they saw their calm, their kindness, their hopes. The mirror never judged, it only revealed. Years passed. Snow continued to fall each winter, but now it carried a different meaning. Ilara's story became a legend, not of fear, not of isolation, but of balance. She had shown that cold and warmth are not opposites. They are partners in the rhythm of life. And so, the girl born on the longest night of winter became something greater than a queen. She became a guardian of seasons, a sculptor of light, a reminder that power, when guided by wisdom, becomes beauty. The Ice Queen did not rule winter. She understood it, and in understanding, she found joy.